Hey guys, there's this fascinating documentary, and I'm only about 10-15 minutes into it, and I'm already finding what seems to be some golden material. Of course, you got to go back and check it right on some other sources. This video is Italian, so it's subtitled in English, and it's called Chemtrails, The Secret War. This was interesting. Airliners with more or less a long, noticeable trail and more or less persistent fly at low or very low altitude where it's impossible for condensation to form. And this is a proven and irrefutable fact. These non-persistent contrails that can be seen during the day in an open, cloudless sky are artificially induced and obtained with hygroscopic chemical spraying that prevent the development of cumulus when the weather is good and are not resulting from the atmospheric additives. It's causes formation of false condensation trails and the fall of polymers in the form of filaments. This was kind of one of the biggest things that look like spider webs. Now, I've seen and read about a lot of reports about this, and it's very interesting because it looks just like a spider web. Condensation trails are, anyway, a rare phenomenon. To such an extent, the name condensation trail doesn't exist in old and noble encyclopedias. Well, of course not, because we didn't have flight. As a matter of fact, these massive filaments are found in parts of Italy. So they take these filaments and they look at them microscopically, and they're saying they analyzed them and found that the components were only present in fuels which seem to prove the origin of the filaments. Very bizarre. Turbofan engines have been used since the 1970s and cannot produce contrails because 80% of the air passing through them does not get in the combustion chamber. Their unburned gases are relatively cold at exit. This implies that current thrusters can, under no circumstances, generate contrails. I thought that was pretty big. I'm going to pause it there, guys. That's all I really wanted to show you. That's as far as I've gotten in this. Those spider web looking polymer threads, fascinating to me. Where do those come from? What's the origins? Is that proof of contrails? They didn't look like spider webs to me. If the analysis of that is correct and that there are parts of fuel comprising these filaments, then that would leave even further clues to the origins lying in chemtrails and not migratory spiders. Then the engine, the fact that the battery's running low. The fact that they're saying these engines can't produce contrails since the 80s, that's a fascinating idea. But how does that explain if they started this weather manipulation in 1997? How can you explain contrails? That's a good question. Actually, I guess it was 1995 they said that they started. But where did contrails come from between 1980 and then? It doesn't really seem plausible. That's kind of a weird. The 1980 number is kind of bizarre. I kind of have a little bit of a problem with that. But the ability that, the fact that modern jet engines cannot produce contrails, that's pretty fascinating. I'd love to look into this some more, guys. Take care. William, talk to you later.